Here on the desk alongside the Cy Young Award winner, World Series champion Jake Peavy, and the All-Star Alex Avila. I'm Adnan Burke. It's great to have you with us. We'll get to all the highlights and post-game reaction of a busy day in Major League Baseball, including what happened to the Blue Jays and the Mariners. But Alex, this is the time to just bow down and appreciate the greatness of Shohei Ohtani. There's nothing like it you're ever going to see again.
No, you definitely aren't. And I mean, when we were just watching this game in the bullpen and just seeing what he was doing, throughout the game from a pitching standpoint, the fact that, he had 3 home runs as well, it's almost indescribable. Like you come at a loss for words as far as how to describe what you're seeing and what he's been able to do. I mean, the story for the Dodgers obviously was the starting pitching, throughout the series until Shohei showed up. Added to that starting pitching, but then, topped it off with 3 home runs. I mean, it's truly remarkable. It really is.
Running out of things to say and words to describe what we're seeing. Nothing about it makes sense. I thought D-Row in the morning crew did a really nice job of going. Also, this guy hits 55 home runs. Also, this guy, is the most in Dodger history. Homers, the 50-50 season. To go out and do that on the offensive side of the ball, and then when you watch what me and Alex are watching and critiquing it at a very high level, he's just the best of the best. There's nothing else you can say. When the game's been around this long and we haven't seen anything like it, and we're making rules about him.
Yeah,
remarkable.
In order to keep him in the game, when he comes out of the game, changing rules to make sure we don't lose any one of his at bats. But I mean, it is. For guys like us that have been around the game for as long as we have and have dedicated our lives to it, to see what he does on a daily basis and how dominant he is from the pitching side, the offensive side. I mean, it's
Little League. It's what happens in Little League. Once you get above Little League, this doesn't happen.
Yeah.
It's truly, he's playing Little League at the big league level.
And it's a fun conversation to say the greatest players of all time. Like, Pete, you've seen Barry Bonds, you've seen Roger Clemens.
He's just about almost that guy in the box.
Yeah.
When you're talking about setting Dodger record, this Dodger history's deep.
Yeah.
Talking Sean Green and Piazza and Eric Karros or some of the names I faced. They never did what this guy did.
Yeah.
And then he's number 1 starter for anybody's team. You go put him on anybody's team, he's starting opening day next year.
Conversely, for the Milwaukee Brewers, I mean, they just ran into a buzzsaw, Alex. I mean, I feel for them. It's a great fan base. They love baseball there in Wisconsin. They thought this would be their best chance to get back to the World Series since 1982. Just couldn't score enough runs. I mean, 4 runs, that's it.
No, the issue with the Brewers this whole series was the offense. I thought, their pitching hung in there as kind of depleted as they were, and how Murph had to kind of mix and match throughout the series between his starters and relievers and openers. They did a good job. They kind of did what they were supposed to do to keep themselves in the games. But the Dodgers starting pitching and even their bullpen, you got to give credit to their bullpen too. The innings they did pitch, they came up big and pitched really well. They ran into a pitching staff that is firing on all cylinders. They're hot at the right time. They're healthy at the right time, and executing as well as they have all season long. And Murph said it best a couple days ago. They can bring out the worst in you, and when you're facing a team as talented as the Dodgers from a pitching perspective, they can make any good offensive team look like the Brewers in 4 games. And it's a tough way to go out because, the Brewers, they had a tremendous season, 97 wins, and their offense was definitely not as bad as we saw in the last 4 games. And that's a tough pill to swallow.
The only time that we thought the Brewers had a chance in this 4 games that we watched were when one of the 4 starters that started the game were out of the game.
Yeah.
Now, at any point in time when these 4 starters were out there doing their thing, just as a baseball player, that wins. For the most part, you're not going to string together innings. You might can clip these guys, but you're not going to do it when they're executing at the level that they are.
The interesting part about it, too, Adnan, is the fact that this Brewers lineup, is the type of lineup that you'd expect to have success in the playoffs because of their ability to work the count, make contact, not strike out, play athletic baseball, where typically if you have a lineup that has mostly kind of power hitters throughout, guys that swing and miss, those are the pitchable lineups, especially in the postseason. This lineup you would think would have a little bit more success, but the Dodgers, they just executed that well. And you had a couple guys for the Brewers just couldn't able to find any sort of rhythm. They weren't able to have that moment like we saw in the ALCS with Jimenez in Toronto to kind of get their offense rolling.
Yeah.
And that was kind of the name of the game for the Brewers this series.
Dodgers.
One of the fears for the Brewers, Pete, was the fact they don't hit enough home runs. They hit one home run this series. Ohtani tonight.
Nobody was going to hit home runs. I hate keep bringing it back to the pitching, but that is just what it is. We hear good pitching beats good hitting. That is what we've seen. And these guys are the best we have in the game. These 4 starters are all under monster contracts. This guy right here, $700 million. He should have got $1 billion. To do what this man is doing. And you can imagine what the country of Japan is thinking right now. God. And how proud they must be. And then watching their countrymen close it out. It's just truly remarkable. I feel bad for the Brewers because they look so overmatched. But, again, that's what we thought kind of coming into the series.
Yeah, Ohtani and the Dodgers saying sayonara to the Milwaukee Brewers. Here's Freddie Freeman as we say hello alongside Lauren Shahadi.
Freddie, it never gets old, does it? How does a group full of super-duper stars play so much for each other?
Oh, man, that was special. We've just been playing really good baseball for a while now, and the inevitable kind of happened today, Shohei. Oh, my God. I'm still speechless.
I watched you after that 3rd home run, and you mouthed the words, what the? Is he a human? Who is there?
Sometimes you got to check yourself and touch and make sure he's not just made of steel, but absolutely incredible. Biggest stage, and he goes out and does something like that. Something you probably remembered as a Shohei Ohtani game.
Yeah. Freddie, my favorite thing about you is you sit top step. You watch every out.
Yeah.
How spoiled are you by this staff?
Yeah, it's amazing. I think what was special is we were winning different ways every single night. Playing small ball, hitting the home run, pitching. Our starting pitching for about 7 weeks now has been absolutely incredible. So we're going to lean on him a little bit more, hopefully.
I mean, no one's ever won back-to-back World Series MVPs. What do you think? Yeah?
That does sound good, but as long as one of us wins it, that means we won the whole thing.
Enjoy it, Freddie. Congratulations.
Thank you, Lauren.
Freddie Freeman, always a class act out there, playing first base and doing what he can at the plate for this Dodgers team. In terms of recent back-to-back World Series champions, it's right. No team has gone back-to-back since that Yankee dynastic run of the late 90s and the 2000 Subway Series. Jays went back-to-back, 92, 93. The Yankees of 77, 78. The Big Red Machine, and, of course, the Oakland A's with all that star power back in the day of the 70s. I mean, listen, we're not quite there yet, but it's going to be awfully tough to slow down this Dodgers machine, Alex.
Yeah, I mean, they're firing on all cylinders. They're healthy. Their pitching's great. Their offense is coming up clutch in big situations. They're putting together great ABs. The other 2 teams duking it out in the American League side, I mean, they're good baseball teams too. So I think either one of those teams whoever comes out of that, it should be a really good World Series because I think both those teams do match up pretty well with the Dodgers. So it should be a good one. But I mean, right now it's hard not to see the Dodgers as the favorite.
The only way I think you can slow them down is maybe this break.
Yeah.
You know what, tonight, when you sweep and you know this other series is going.
I know it all too well.
You know what this means, though. You can celebrate, tie on a pretty good one tonight in this celebration. These boys are going to do that, and rightfully so. But then they're going to have to sit for a little bit.
Yeah.
They're going to have some days off that we talk about. And the offense is not blazing hot. They've just, like you said, been clutch. And you have the homers from Ohtani tonight. But this pitching staff's going to be well rested, and I imagine they're going to give fits to whatever lineup. You got the Toronto team that can make a lot of contact versus them, and then Seattle, look, they're not going to go away, and they can really pitch, kind of match up with them. So we'll see how it goes.
Mookie Betts had a quiet year much of the season. September on, he was much better in the playoffs. He was back to being more like Mookie. Here he is with our own Abby Labar.
Mookie, Shohei Ohtani, what are we witnessing with him right now?
Greatness. I mean, I said it multiple times. We're like the Bulls, and he's Michael Jordan. And whenever he goes, we're all going to go. And you see it today. And I'm just happy he's on our team.
When you take a look back at all of this and what you guys have been able to accomplish, what does this feel like right now?
Amazing. Obviously, we still got another series to play, so we can't get too far ahead of ourselves. But it's special just to go back to back. I mean, it's special just to have this trip at least.
This is a good team that you guys face. They were really good during the regular season, so dominant, and you took care of them in 4 games. So just tell me, when did you guys know you were capable of accomplishing this?
I mean, in spring training, we knew we were capable of accomplishing the goal of winning another World Series. How we got there, you never know. You never really know. But we knew we were going to do it, and, now we're 1 step away.
Congrats. Go celebrate.